Hello, historical people! Order of the Blade people, if you're watching this and have any interest in learning the actual sources, or listening to me talk about the sources. But yeah, want to go over rabbits because the Admiral Rover decided to comment and mention rabbits, and now you got me excited. Because I do have a little theory on the rabbits, which the rabbit ultimately is what it says on the tin. It's like an upwards beat to the blade. It's like a displacement technique. So whether that's from like a fool's lowered guard coming up, just displacing the blade, that's a rabbit. I like to think of the rabbit mostly as a shorter one. So you'd be kind of here, flick it up, and then you do something like your half hawk in or whatever. That could come up into a round. I don't know. But I was reading the Ledal's fourth play, which I thought was really interesting because that tells you to do something really weird and would suggest that I'm performing the rabbit from a position like this, which, funnily enough, you have like a bit of leverage there, like more leverage than I'd have even realised before. But it says I should beat up and then like come in and do something like that. Probably better. But I'll run through the play with you just so you can see what I'm on about, because I find it quite interesting. But it says to proffer, which is typically like a threat, so just a provoking action, like a thrust to the face. Then a rake with a quarter. Now I don't, like with some of the translation here and some of how they phrase things, sometimes I think when they say with a, I think that's exactly what they mean. Do it with this next thing. So instead of me going threat, rake, because the rake in action is just pulling that back like it was a rake. So touch him, pull it back. If I've threatened, I want to rake back and then throw in a quarter from here. Maybe I could do like a small one, whatever, which wouldn't be too bad. It's not too bad. But what I think it means is rake into that quarter, because from here, yes, I could then do a little rabbit here and attack, and that's not a bad idea. Okay, I'd be perfectly fine keeping that blade alignment. And yeah, let me run through the whole fourth play. So it's just proffer, rake with a quarter. Then I step forward with my left foot and beat the blade. Then step forward with my right with a downwards sort of stroke, like a quarter stroke, quarter blow. Then thrust to the face, quarter, and void. Or quarter, then another void, whatever that means. So I think you're supposed to void with your quarters, but whatever, we'll get into that. So if I was to do that how I'd normally think, so threaten, let's say, then I'm raking that back, maybe striking a quarter. I mean, that was shit, but so proffer, maybe I'm a bit too close. Proffer, rake it back, quarter, like step forward with my rabbit, and then come in with my right strike, thrust to the face, maybe come an upward quarter and retreat. Okay. Another thing, quarters I think can be uppercuts as well as they can be downward cuts. It's just these angles. But anyway, how I think it means, so if we do the rake with a quarter, so I've threatened, if I rake and quarter, come into something like this, so I pull it back into a defense. And as you can see, I'm moving back a little bit because I think you're supposed to avoid with quarters as well, somehow. Or at least sometimes. So from here, I've now got a rabbit here. Like, that's a surprising amount of leverage. So I'll rake that back. Now rabbit in with my strike, and then thrust to the face, bounce out, and possibly throw another quarter off there, if that's what they mean by throw the quarter. Okay, so just to get in there so you can see what's going on. So threaten with the proffer, rake that back into a quarter. Now with this little flappy bit here, I can come forward, turn that into a strike, whether that's a kind of false edge hawk, whether that's a round, or ideally the quarter blow. And yeah, from there, thrust to the face, quarter out. Maybe strike off the head. Maybe just quarter out, like that. But one more time, so proffer, threaten, get in the quarter, bounce out, hit them. I didn't do the thrust, but I quartered out and got fairly safe. So that's kind of how I was thinking about that. I'm not seeing many that do use that leverage as the kind of beat. I'm sure there are some other sources that will do that, use that, whatever. I'm just not aware of them yet. So if anyone knows them, let me know. But yeah, that's just a fun little thought about the rabbits. So hopefully you found that useful, Mr. Admiral. And we'll see you in a bit.